So I wanted to make a video on Matahari first out of the two today, just because first video I made that like really kind of popped off was involving Matahari. It was against Gatia, and I chose Matahari because out of all the low stars, she is one of the, like she is the only one that had like a guaranteed skill seal. I know now that this is just 100%, but back then, this was also the only skill that was 100% at base, while pretty much every other character needed to level up to get skill seal. So, a little bit of history with this character. But this is also a case of this is one of those characters that is making me revamp how the tier list is looking, because her most recent buff is gonna put her at a different place that makes her look a lot better than she is. Number one, number two, my old list had separated low stars from 4 and 5 stars, so she would be up there on the low star tier list because she's a really good support for 5 stars, specifically like commas, like charm units, and that it's more misleading shit. That is why like people don't put too much belief into tier lists once you get into a certain part of the game. They're there to guide you. They're not there to tell you exactly who's the best all the time in the games. It's always a case by case basis on the fight. So yeah, let's start going down. Once again, this is a low star. Not really talking about this stuff up here. Something to note is how fucking high this MP gain stat is. What the fuck? 2.1. I think Steno has an MP gain that's this fucking high. If you're not critting on this, if you manage to crit on this, you're gonna get a lot of game, but you're not gonna be critting on with Matahari that often. You shouldn't be even using her face cards. I'm gonna be real. Like, even with this gain stat, your goal is not to have her do anything, not even to gen stars, because these aren't really good quick cards. They only have 2 hits, and that's your 1 hit counts for you. It makes They had to balance the MP gain to compensate, but they never really balanced the star gen. So first skill, and why like I even put her higher on tier list before, is like this skill was actually like really good. 100% star gen and 50% crit damage for the party. This makes any arts card able to gen stars, and this is just bonus crit damage. The reason I just like put this high up on there is because like letting art servants crit is a big deal, because it means their refund is good and they're able to do damage outside just their MPs. And also this kind of just works with every character. It's not just arts. It also like turns CL's MP, that 13 hit single target buster that I think already has star gen on it. Oh, I have Miss CL right there. No, this doesn't have star gen on it. But if you did have star gen on this, this would gen a whole lot more stars than just that. So yeah, like this is a generic support that works with like pretty much any team that you can just slot in. That was like one of the reasons. So this is the buff skill, but as you can see on fandom, I'm gonna reset. It's not up yet. So we're going over here. 1 sec. Nice quick. All right. So we're going back here. Skill originally was 60% chance to charm male enemies for 1 turn and reduce all enemies' defenses by 20% for 3 turns. Yeah, no, like this would have been better if this didn't say male, because male enemies are not half the game. Male enemies are whatever the game, like, if they're human, they're gonna show male or female. Anything else, it's not gonna show. Any beast type, they not male or female, non-human. Male refers to human males or like humanoid males. It's not referring to like a dog. Like FGO turns isn't counting whether a Sphinx is male or female because that's just annoying. So here is the buff skill. So charm res down 1 time 3 turns. Oh yeah, Kama would eat this shit up. Like after the first turn for Kama's MP, that's usually when she has problems like landing the second one. Yeah, no, she's landing it. Um, Second part, charm wait, this is okay. So this part is not changing. Um, the male charm still the same. Defense down here still the same at 20%, but another line here. Defense down. Uh, charm buff charm. What? Okay, chat. I don't like the wording for Atlas DB because it can be confusing, not just like for average person, but for me too, just for how this is stated, just because of this is like the way that it presents it is lines of code, and if you misread what each term means, you're gonna misread the whole thing. Like when owner has buff charm, is like as players we don't think of charm as a buff; it's a debuff. But I'm not sure if this site actually considers buffs and debuffs as different things. It might just say, "Oh, debuff is a buff with a negative effect." Thinking like a math person. But yeah, if you charm the enemy, 30% defense down. This is a 50% defense down, essentially for Kama. Like, this is pure Kama fucking support. That works really, 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 really fucking well for esports. If it wasn't for the fact that if you're charming enemies, Matahari isn't going down. That's kind of like the one weakness that is going to be with this. If you're doing charm support, you kind of got to hope the enemy has a way to like kill your esports unit. Otherwise, they're kind of just stuck there. And you have to kind of pray that you don't charm just so they can kill Matahari. In fights that have like trash mobs, this is way less of an issue. It's more Kama versus one other enemy that you would run into an issue like this. But kind of doesn't matter. Like, you're trading a card buff and crit damage for defense down. And I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but because of how saturated crit and card buffs get when you have like triple Scotty, especially if you only bring one caster. This is definitely much more of a thing if you don't have caster. This goes up in value. But if you do have caster Scotty, there is the case that you just oversaturate on defense down. Like if you manage to do 2 caster Scotties, a Matahari, and a Scotty Ruler, you would be going above 100% defense. And once you hit 100, there's no point in going any further. Same like if you hit like 550% MP damage, like there's no point. You hit the cap for it. Yeah, no. So seeing as most people don't like summoning for caster Scotty anymore, like this, her being just a 1-star just adds so much fucking value. Like my ult account does not have caster Scotty, but I'm like in the background I'm trying to get it. I'm just not dumping all my quartz to get caster Scotty. Yeah, no, this is a great fucking buff for Matahari. And again, I already leaked this with the tier list patch notes. Slides. Where is this? Like, this is what the new tier list is going to be looking like. And it's literally because of servants like Matahari. Obviously, with a kit like this, she would be going in debuffers. And before, and this is just like super, super light tier list shit. With how this kit was before, she would have probably gone in A, but like 50% defense down and like specifically support, probably A plus over here, not EX, because again, this tier list is going through all classes, all the rarities are getting put up together. So Matahari, very specific, she would go in A plus, because the plus means it could. And by the way, that's what the plus is going to mean here. It could go up in conditions. Like, these pluses are for conditional placements. So super effectives that are a little too restrictive would go in a plus instead of an EX. So we're going to move on, finish out Matahari, and then hopefully Mordred's MP is going to show in there. Otherwise, we're going to do the same thing. So, skills, one enemy for one turn, defense down. So, yeah, no, you have 70% defense down. You should not be using double caster Scotty if you throw Matahari in. You hit the cap. You hit the cap very, very easily. Even right now, I'm just contradicting myself because, like, I'm not seeing this at the same time. And now I'm realizing this is a 1-star that's putting 70% defense down by themselves. Like, Kazuradrop level defense down. And you don't even need an MP. This is just skills. Going back to this does make her viability as esports a lot harder, because you can't leave her at level even, what is it, 20? You can't leave her at level 20 out of 30. Unless you have another one to get this rank up. So no matter what, you would need a max rank Matahari in the first place just to do the rank up. So, like, there really is no point to doing an esports Matahari. You might as well just, like, have this one. She's only 1-star. Just hope she dies really quickly. Moving on to passives. She has no passives unless she hits Bond 15, and then she gets her first passive. But it is a passive everyone has, so if everyone has it, no one's special. Oof. Low star, don't have to worry about this. MP, non-damaging, just a chance to charm, and does something very similar to Asterius. At max OC copies, it's the same exact numbers as Asterius. But you're not overcharging Matahari like this. I don't even think you'd get to the MP. Not if you're someone that has the characters that you would use this character with. Like, it's funny, like, if you don't have the support, like, the characters that you'd use to support her, you're either not going to see the MP or you would be using the MP. Well, if you have her in her optimal role, you would never be seeing this MP, because she should be dying very quickly. But, again, just want to point this out, this is even more defense down. This is a stupid amount of defense down for one character that does it for almost no cost. The only cost is trying to figure out how she's going to get out of the party. And that would be your main concern. Bond CE, 15% MP gen while she's on the field. Yeah, no, it's super. Bravo, Lasagna. You are my expectations truly are on the floor. I don't expect much from these companies. So it's always I'm always happy when they don't half-ass shit. And this is definitely not a half-ass buff. I think Mordred's is way more half-assed, but it's something she's needed for years. This is something like Kama needs. This is not something that helps Matahari. This helps every single other character in the game that has anything to do with charm. I bring up Kama so much, but there are other characters that use charm. So yeah, I think in terms of just what I have and like what comes to like first thing in my mind. Yeah, no, this is. I'm honestly taking it back. I think she goes up here. Skill seal, 70% defense down, charm res support, crit damage, star gen. She literally wants quick servants to be able to crit as hard as they can, as often as they can, without the enemy taking damage. Is that not the definition of quick? Is that is that not the definition of quick though? And they can't move. And they can't do their skills. How quick fights, the enemy just doesn't fight back. GG easy. Alright. That's it for Matahari. Can we fit this in? No. Alright. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get the fandom update in the recording. Oh well. I want to try to get Mordred done so I can actually stream and have a good amount of time today. Let's see. Alright, peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.